Things just took a major turn. Tom Fitzgerald had big priorities coming into summer 2025. August 18th, we still don't know the answer to at least one. Implications here, let's break it down. Welcome on in, Devil fans. Glad to have you here today. Hope you'll stick around to finish out the off season. Hit the subscribe button to continue talking all things Devils hockey. So, coming in this offseason, Tom Fitzgerald let us know there was going to be change. He clearly did that in the bottom six. Backup goaltender, well, he chose Jake Allen over Nico Daws. He wanted to, he didn't want to repeat what he had 2 years ago. He wants to make sure he has stability back there. He does. He traded a first-round pick plus for Jacob Markstrom last offseason. This one, he made sure he had Jake Allen. But I think that, coming into this offseason, a lot of things that Devils maybe were questioning or really wanted to know is what was going to happen with Luke Hughes long term. Well, AFP Analytics is saying somewhere in the 6-year, $8.4 million market per year. And, it's saying that the Devils kind of want some cap flexibility. You can go ahead and pause it if you want to read all of that real quick. But basically is what they're saying is Devils want to do it so they can have long-term cap flexibility, but they want to get Luke Hughes happy as well. Well, to do both and make both work, there's really only one way you do this. You got to go long-term. This has to be an 8-year deal. I know it says 6 years there at $8.4 million. I think both would rather that 8-year deal, or it makes sense for both teams to do an 8-year deal. Wouldn't be too old at the end of it, and probably makes sense if you want cap flexibility, signing him maybe a little bit more than what he's produced so far, bank on the upside, and then you're set, for the next 8 years with Luke Hughes. And from what it seems like, that's kind of what both sides want to do. They want to go long term. Now, 7 years, that could work too, but you want to probably get it as close to 8 years as possible. You want to get him locked up long term, because we see what happens when you don't get players who show the upside and they don't get locked up long term. Yeah, then they're starting for a lot more later on, especially knowing that the market is going to go up a lot within the next couple years. You want to get the contract signed now. You want to go 8 years right now. Now, 7 years, I don't think you're completely complaining about that. I don't think it completely throws you off your tracks. You can do 7 years. The problem would be a bridge deal right here. The problem would be, a 3-year deal. That would make no sense. Devils would be in trouble at a 3-year deal. You're not going to get the same type of contract value out of that. It's not going to be like, a Jack Hughes, a Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt when you sign them early. And then all of a sudden, it looks like one of the best contracts in the NHL today. You wouldn't be getting that type of value. It'd be something a little bit different. You get that type of value if you go 8 years today. He's been a 40-plus point player the past 2 years. His defense took a step up. He showed he can control, a first-line power play, probably turning into a first-line defenseman if he isn't already. He's already showing those capabilities. And, he's still relatively young. So when you see those things early on, and how your team likes to play, you have to go with that. You have to go ahead and bank on that upside. One of the things that the Devils, did, I guess, I don't want to say very well, but recently they've had a ton of top 5 picks. In the past, I guess now 8 years, they've had a ton of top 5 picks. And when you have those, top 5, maybe top 10 picks, number 1 overall picks, you have to be able to, get all you can, all the value out of that. Luke Hughes, you get all the value at an 8-year contract. Get the contract, get the number, get the value looking right as well as the player. Everything will fall into place. And when you go ahead and you look at other players who are maybe around, that same skill set, maybe even that same draft that Luke Hughes went in, you look at where they've signed and what they've signed recently. If you're going to go long term, you got to go right around that $8 million mark. Okay, he's going to be probably an 8-year, $8 million defenseman. And I think it makes sense. You just saw Noah Dobson sign with in Montreal. Noah Dobson has had one, really great year. A little bit of a down year last year. They bet on the upside. Kent Hughes has done a great job over there in Montreal. He's drafted well, and he's developed his players well. Kent Hughes has done a great job over there. Go do a little bit of what he's doing. Giving players their money now, giving it to them early, getting them set up for that 8-year contract. Jake Sanderson just signed a big contract. If he's signing that now, I think he's signing even more money. You want to sign them early. Buffalo got started with Owen Power early. Ottawa got started with Jake Sanderson early. You want to get started early. You don't want to be in an Edmonton situation with Evan Bouchard, who's going to get a pretty nice big pay raise on his next contract, because they decided that, we don't want to tell Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, okay, here's your point per game power play defenseman. There he is. You have him. 20 goals, maybe around 80 points. There you go. You have him. No, they want to say, we'll do a 3-year deal. He's probably going to get a lot of points playing number one power play with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. And you know what? Not a ton of other good defensive prospects. And look what boat Edmonton's in. I mean, if they were in the Stanley Cup, but they're going to have to pay Evan Bouchard a nice size contract. You don't want to get to that situation with Luke Hughes. You know what you're going to play him. You know what his future is with this team. You're going to want him to provide offense. He's young. He's a top 5 pick. Go ahead and use that value. Sign him long-term, 8 years. You're looking probably in that $8 million. You might have to get to 8.5. I think either one is worth it. I would bet on his upside. He showed a ton better defensive upside last year. We know he was drafted to be an offensive defenseman. And I mean, that's how the players, young prospects are being taught today. It's a lot of offense first. The game has changed. You're looking to create offense. These defensemen, it's more so being able to get the puck up ice and being a factor in the offensive zone. That's what Luke Hughes looks like he can turn into. I mean, we've seen his brother do it. We're hoping at some point maybe his brother can join him. But, that's what we're looking at with Luke Hughes. You have an offensive defenseman. You have a defenseman with upside. He's young. You spent a top 5 pick on him. His brother is already here. You might want the other brother. Just go 8 years. Not a ton in terms of what we're seeing when this could be done. What Tom Fitzgerald, what they're going through right now. Just hoping it's not a bridge deal. Because a bridge deal, 3-year contract, well, you put yourself into trouble. And I don't see a situation where that happens, or I think it's probably more so unlikely. It probably still is just trying to crack down the numbers over an 8-year deal, maybe 7 years. But I mean, that's what I think they're looking at right now. We'll keep you guys updated as more stuff comes in on Luke Hughes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give your predictions, what you like to see Luke Hughes extension look like. Let me know down in the comments. Hope you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys all really soon.